Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and I am not bright because I knew I was going to film today. Did I charge any of my camera batteries? No. So if you notice a different quality in the video, I am filming on my phone like the olden days, but literally I have 4 batteries for my camera and they're all dead. I tried them all, battery exhausted, and they take so long to charge. I was like, no, I need to get this video filmed. So here we are. And I don't even have my microphone, obviously, because I can't plug it into my phones. I hope the volume is okay. I am so sorry, but we are here to yap. But quickly before I get into this, I just want to mention, because I just got some more notifications about the trip to Ireland, and now there are only 3 early bird spots left. There's still more spots than that, but there's 10 early bird spots total, which gives you a discount off the total price. And so as of today that I'm filming this, Monday, November, whatever day it is, there are 3 early bird spots left. And then so there will be 9 spots total left, because it's a 16 person and I cannot look on my phone to confirm that. I'll put the info on the screen if I'm wrong, but the information will be linked down below if you want to join me in Ireland next October 2025. Okay, also, if you book from December 3rd through December 4th, you can get an additional $50 off, because that day is Travel Tuesday and Trover Trip is doing an additional promo. So the coupon code is Travel Tuesday 50. So if you're one of the next 3 people, you would get the early bird discount on top of the additional $50 off if you book December 3rd or December 4th. So, just letting you know, because any money you can save is always great. Because we need something good and exciting to look forward to, because the world, it's an interesting place. So anyway, just link down below, or if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today, since I have been doing more things in this area, and I did mention it maybe in my first of this Yabcast, and it's about making friends as an adult. And so I have been continuing to do that. I downloaded Bumble BFF. So it used to be Bumble, and then you could like switch, decide what side. It would say like dating or the BFF part. And I had the BFF thing, and like, I don't know, the women were all the people I was trying to meet, which was women. I don't know, we chat for a little while, it wouldn't go anywhere. Anyway, so I deleted that a while ago, re-downloaded, went to go download it, and I saw that they had a separate one that's literally just Bumble BFF. So I got that one. And they have little things where people can create events so you can go. And so I did do that. We went to like this craft place where basically they have this stuff already made and you can paint it, and then they put it they fire it in the kiln or whatever. They also do have classes where you can do like, I'm trying to, the spinning, the, I don't know, the clay, make the potterying. Anyway, so that's my thoughts. That's what I want to talk about today, is making friends as an adult. And really one thing I want to focus on is the cost of it. Like financially, the cost of making friends as an adult, if you're making them outside of the workplace, right? Or school, which actually, depending on where you're going to school, that might also cost you money. But first, I just want to say that it's so like, I was on the dating apps way back when. If you don't know, that's how I met Andrew. And so I've been out of the game for a long time, but I hear about it from my friends. And then I'm obviously on this, it's like trying to date, but make friends. So not date, but trying to make friends. And it's very weird because, some people, it's almost like they treat it like dating, like people ghost you all the time, or you start out a conversation is great and then they just stop responding, or some people just like can't carry on a conversation, which is like something you have to be able to do at least through a chat a little bit. You can't just be like, hey, we have some similar interests, let's meet tomorrow. Like normally you go back and forth for a little while. Like I think I talked to this one girl for like 2 weeks, or it might have been more. And she also was part of the craft group, but we were talking separately. And then we had a meetup scheduled. It got postponed. So maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks before we actually met in person. And so some people do not have that skill of like basic hey, what are you into? Blah, blah, blah. What do you enjoy doing? Have you, like, what do you do for fun? What do you do for work? Like, they're not able to communicate those things. So it's really weird. You'll say something, I try to ask questions with things they put on their profile. Like, what are you reading? Have you baked anything interesting? Stuff like that. It's like almost like that little awkward exchange at the beginning, like dating. But yeah, it's often that you match with people and they never respond, or they respond in the beginning and then they ghost you. Or sometimes I've talked to people for weeks and then they just like, and then they stop responding. It's very strange. Anyway, so I just think that's interesting. But the cost of trying to make friends as an adult, because we live in America, capitalism, can be expensive depending on who you are as a person. And I just moved my desk. And obviously, maybe this depends on where you are. For me, I am not in a major city. So I don't live in a walkable town. The major city is not walkable. Maybe if you live like downtown, but most of downtown's abandoned. It's like it's not great. There's not great public transportation. There's like a bus you see here and there, but so I think that adds to it. If you are someone who does not live in New York City, Boston, Chicago, DC, San Fran, Seattle. I'm just trying to think of the ones I know with public transportation systems, beyond just a random bus that runs here or there. And so if you don't live in those, which a lot of us do, we live in middle America, or we live in small towns or whatever. You might even live in a big city like Dallas or Houston, or on the outskirts of that. And those are also not walkable cities. There is the added cost, not even of just gas to get someplace, but then again, back to the conversation, I don't know if I've had it here, but it's been done on social media, of our lack of third spaces. And so you have to go pay to go do something. So the first time I met up with some people, not just from this app, but they were military spouses. We went to brunch. There's the cost of driving there. I live out a little further. That's on me, I know. And the cost of brunch. Then we went bowling. You have to pay to go bowling. This time, the crafting thing, and sure, it's $25 here, $30 here, but I'm just saying, if you are someone who's struggling, that money matters. And trying to meet people, you always have to spend money. Even if you're like, oh yeah, let's just go for a drink, money. Go to a coffee shop, money. Because most places you can't just go in and sit and talk to somebody and not purchase something. So I was telling this to Andrew, I was like, this is, I've met some nice people that I'm still talking to and would hang out with again. My therapist is very proud of me. Sorry, the garbage people are outside right now. I'm just gonna, while I scratch, I got a mosquito bite right here this morning. You can see the redness. Okay, I think they're far enough down the road now. But I was just talking to him that it's like, yes, I've met people that I like, that I am keeping in contact with, that we'd be like, let's do something else, yada, yada, yada. My therapist is proud of me. I am proud of me. Even my primary care provider is proud of me, because I told her, okay, look, I was going through it last year and she was hearing a lot of it, and that's my dog. So it's great, but to do all these things, you have to spend money, and it's just really frustrating. And then also living somewhere where there is not a lot of things to do. So then it kind of limits your options. It's like, what if you run into someone who's like, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink. I don't want, then what do? There's not a lot of places here. You really can go to eat, go to drink, or drink a coffee. There is Barnes and Noble, a Second and Charles, and then this used bookstore. There's just not a lot of neutral meeting grounds to meet people, and that's frustrating, and that makes it hard. But I'm still doing it because I know it's good for me. And as I've said before, and my therapist told me, that I cannot go into every interaction looking for my new bestie. Like, some people are not, because essentially in my dream is to have a multi-purpose bestie, as my therapist says, who lives where I live. Someone who is interested in multiple things I'm also interested in, and checks all these boxes, my go-to gal pal. And she was like, that just may not be in the cards right now, but you can still have friendships with people who are like, maybe this is your go-to person to go to brunch, or this person is your go-to person to get a margarita with and talk about Real Housewives, or this is, and so that's what I'm approaching it as. Like, I'm not giving up the hope of one day having a IRL bestie who lives near where I live. The problem is that we move every 3 to 4 years, so that makes it more difficult. One day we'll be in one place for a longer time eventually. But so yes, I have met some people who are, very fun, and it's like, okay, I enjoy doing this thing with you, and that's fine. But it is a lot. And also, fortunately and unfortunately, I don't have a job right now. But like, if you're meeting people outside of work, then you have to work all day, especially in this freaking, the time change, and now it's fucking dark at 5:00, which I know I'm going to get off topic, but I know I've heard of companies that let people go early or get off work early on Fridays in the summer. Heard of it, never experienced it in my life, but heard of it, which is like cool. But why don't we do that in the winter time? I feel like winter, like we should be somewhat modern day hibernating, okay? It should be colder. It's not. My house, I have AC on, that's why I have this on, okay? It's humid outside. But the days, if you work a 9 to 5, depending on your commute, it might be pitch black when you get home. You should be getting off earlier. We should be doing less work in these winter months. Now, there's some people that are always going to be needed, always going to be important. 24/7. Nurses, doctors, EMT, fire department. A gas station, maybe? I just think, and I know post-COVID, some things like Walmart or whatever have gone away from the 24 hours, but I just think most things don't need to be 24 hours. We need to reverse, put in reverse for thirst. There's too much in the American culture that's like, I want it now. And even if I can't get it now, I want to talk to somebody to tell me when I can get it. I have spent the last 6-7 years working in insurance, unfortunately, very miserable industry to work in the claims department. And people, they always have people. They're open 24/7, 365, because they're like, oh, somebody might call in. Okay. If a tow company is open, if the fire department is working, if police are working, they need to call them. Call your insurance on Monday. It doesn't make any sense. You're calling, like, because I used to work some weekend shifts, and we would just be there to call because body shops weren't open, things weren't open. So I'm just there to tell you, hey, this isn't open. We'll put a note for this on Monday. We need to learn to chill the fuck out. Like, we need to slow it down. And so, like, when I read that book, Do Nothing, and they predicted decades ago that we should be working a lot less. Now, either that's less hours per week, or even more jobs are you work certain months out of the year. We should not be working. I put we as a collective we. I know I don't have a job right now. You don't have to remind me. This much. It's ridiculous because I know there's been studies about how much productivity employers get out of people per day anyway. Don't quote me. I feel like it was like maybe 4 hours. If you're there 8 hours. So you don't even need to be there. Why are you being there? But the salary needs to be the same. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. The salary needs to be the same because during the spring and the days when the days are longer and you're working, you're full. You don't even need to work 8 hours. I'm saying a full work day really should be 4.5 hours. And I know for certain industries, that's going to vary. But for a tippity-tappity in an office, it shouldn't be no 9 to 5. Really, we should be working 10 to 2, okay? Maybe 9 to 1:30. I shift, okay, let's change it. A 2 to 6. Come on. Like these jobs are so frustrating as a person who is looking for a job, not like hardcore, because obviously I acknowledge I'm very fortunate that I don't have to work right now and we are fine. We're not swimming in money, but our needs are met, and then some. However, as a person who left my job And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take the time to try to go into an industry that I'm not miserable in every day. And I don't feel like I want to yeet myself off the roof. This is a terrible job market right now. Trying to be more picky with applications, but I'm just like, here's the thing. In this time of my life right now, I don't need to, nor do I want to work full time. But that doesn't seem to be like, they're like, no. This job, you need to work 40 hours a week, and sometimes we may need you to work. What do you mean? Why? There's no reason. Like, I see it all the time on TikTok. People talk about, like, we're in marketing. We're not, this is not emergency medicine. What do you mean I might need to work extra hours? 40 hours is already crazy work. I don't want to do that. Can I get a nice 25? I would say 30, but even that feels like it's pushing it. 40 hours a week being full-time is cruel and unusual punishment. And I will die on that hill. I will also die on the hill that there is no such thing as work-life balance. For one, it should be life-work balance. Why is work first? And maybe for some people that is like their passion, they're all consuming, whatever. I don't think that's the case for most people. It should be life-work balance. And that would mean working less than 40 hours a week, working less than 5 days. It would be a 4-day work week max. It really should be 4-day work week, 6-hour work day, should be full time. Anything over that should be overtime. But it's just like work-life balance doesn't make any sense because you're prioritizing work. 40-hour work weeks, and that's assuming you only have to spend that 40 hours. Now, if you work from home, more than likely you really only have to work those hours, right? Unless you work in a busy industry and you intend to overwork. But if you're commuting, depending on where you're commuting, because you can't just like, I work at 8, let me pop up and go. So a lot of people have to move further from where their jobs are because of the cost of living. And so you're having to wake up at, 5 a.m. if you've got to get your kids ready, if you've got to take them to daycare or take them to school, if you want to get a workout in because after work you're not going to want to do it. 4 a.m. Like people are waking up at crazy hours just to try to get these little pieces of life in or responsibilities they have to do, get themselves ready, drive, or sometimes maybe drive to something, park, get on a train. There's varying commutes, right? And then get to work and then have to do the reverse. And maybe then you have to cook, or you have to pick your kids up or take them somewhere, or maybe you're working out after that, or you're trying to be social. So you're going to go for a drink and you have these little pockets of time to do the things for yourself. So work first, life. There is no balance. And then especially when like in this world where you're supposed to be able to work, obviously we're conditioned that we're supposed to raise children. Who has the time or the money? Socialize, volunteer. You're supposed to make sure you're getting all of your fruits and vegetables, cook your meals, but also get enough sleep. You cannot. There is no balance when work takes up so much time. You're like, it's only 40 hours after. False. Again, add in all the commute time, and that is your waking hours. We're supposed to be asleep. You're supposed to get, depending on you, 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night to be in the best shape or condition and in cognitive mode. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So yes, it's 40 plus hours of your waking hours, which is already like you're already losing because we do need to sleep. So I just don't understand people who will always defend working. Yes, work has to be done. I recognize I will need a job. That's why I'm looking now, because I will need a job for the rest of my life, probably. However, the majority of industries out here, the majority of jobs do not need to be holding people hostage for as much time as they do. And especially during this wintertime and holidays, people should be working less. They should be able to go home midday so that you could do little errands. And then you could be home, cuddled up, snuggled up, as it gets dark outside. Because when it gets dark, you don't want to do nothing. So imagine getting off, you get home, let's say you get home by 6 o'clock, it's pitch black outside, but you're still supposed to take your kids somewhere or meet somebody for a drink, or even like watch a TV show or make dinner. You're like, I want to go to bed. Because you know what? We should be getting some more sleep, especially in the wintertime. And granted, it's not winter yet, and it feels not wintry outside, especially here in the South. But All of the things I stand by. I truly, capitalism has truly ruined everything. Everything. And I'm already at 20 minutes. I'm gonna keep my last thought. I'm gonna keep that for another one. I'm gonna keep that for another one because I need to film another video, but now I don't know if I can do it because I don't know if I could do that on my phone. But yeah, anyway, are you an adult who's trying to make friends? I would love to know how it's going for you. What do you find works best? Do you have any of these struggles, like trying to find third places to meet up with them? Or if you're using an app, do you run into any of the problems, like people ghosting you or whatever like that? But everything is just money, 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 money. And it's just really frustrating. It's like, I've seen TikToks, and obviously I already knew this, but just about I don't know if they're states or if they're doing it by city, but there's so many places in America that just continue to find new ways to criminalize houselessness. And that is just already terrible because these people are already down and out. And you're like, hey, we don't want benches, so you can't sleep there. But not to like try to distract from how fucked that is. It also just hurts regular people because somebody was saying like, now it's just harder to find somewhere to sit. Like if you're just like, I grabbed this coffee, I want to sit outside. It's a nice day. There's less public seating. We don't really have in America public restrooms. You have businesses that don't let you use the bathroom. And like, I understand, but it's frustrating. It's like, okay, well, you're trying to punish these people. You're punishing everyone. And these people are the ones who need help. Just like, I don't know if y'all saw somewhere in Utah, I don't know if it was Salt Lake, or another city. The city has a building where they were saying once it's below this certain temperature, we would use this as like a warming center for people who don't have a home, so they don't freeze to death. And the people of the town are like, oh, this is outrageous. You didn't ask us. We don't want this in our town. The individualism really has ruined everything. America, congratulations. This is what you wanted. You really wanted to focus on the nuclear family and that anything outside of that doesn't matter. And this is why we are here today as a society, suffering because we cannot care about our neighbor. But that's funny because since like places like Oklahoma, and then I saw Texas, and they're trying to introduce Bibles and Christianity back into schools. Didn't Jesus say something like love your neighbor or something like that? Now look, I read the Bible a while ago. Okay, a while ago. Yes, I did go through the whole thing. But I feel like that's just like a thing about Christianity is like Jesus said love your neighbor, because what did he? He was just a regular man who was down for the people. But yet you people, not saying these people in Utah were, well, Mormon is under the Christianity, but they do a different thing. But anyway, this is in general. This is in general about people not caring about other people outside of themselves and their immediate family. You're supposed to care about your neighbor. Like, look, I love being alone. Okay, I am an introvert. I thrive on being alone in my house, me and my dog. However, I still recognize when things are good for the whole, and I'm like, okay, yes, this may not affect me, but this would be good for people overall. Like, but for some reason that's hard for people to, I don't know if it's hard for them to understand or like they just don't care. Probably they just don't care. Yeah. But also with my trying to make friends and like even still going to Pilates, even though that's not been a good friend maker. Like I have, casual chit chat with people on the reformer beside me here and there, but like it's not really an environment to make friends because there's just not a lot of time. But it's still, as my therapist and my primary care provider said this, good to be amongst people, even if people get on my fucking nerves. I still like, also goes back to that conversation of people being like, we don't owe people hello or like a how are you if you're working in customer service. I am introverted. I like to be at home. I get really anxious, depending on like the social setting or whatever. But it also is like, you have to learn to be in community with people. The way the world is, especially with capitalism and our governments going the way that they are, every day, because we already need it and a lot of us don't have it, we're going to need one another like badly. Your neighbor who knows how to sew, you don't. So, but maybe you can bake, or, you know, in the olden days you have chickens. So like bartering and like helping each other is something we desperately need, and not wanting to be in community with people. So even just going out to be in public spaces with them, being courteous in those spaces with them. And then in the terms of like politics and stuff like that, thinking about, okay, this may not affect me, but this is a thing I want for other women. This is the other thing. I don't have children, and I want us to fund libraries. Yes, that would be like me every year being like, can you deduct for the school and the library out of my taxes because I don't have children? That's stupid. Yes, I want children to have free lunch. I don't know why that's such a crazy question. I was a poor kid who benefited from that. Even if I wasn't, I just don't understand how you can't look outside of yourself. Like, I don't get it. And we need to be better about that. All of us, including myself. Everyone is like, it takes a village. And I don't even, yes, especially in child rearing, but even just as an adult, I wish I had a village of people, especially once you live far away from your family. Just having like, okay, so my Patreon is called Owens Town, and I know that sounds kind of, it's not a cult, but in my dream, a dream of mine is that I would be able to live, like buy acres with friends and or family that I liked, acres of land. And so, you know, there could be various houses on it, but you're living in a small community with people who's like, this person's a good builder, this person is a gardener, and we could all mutually benefit. We could cook together. We could, you know, share certain things. There's 2 lawnmowers. Oh, he mowed our lawn, he's gonna come mow your. I want that. And there are people who already have that, and I'm so jealous. But yes, in general, all of anything I say, whether it's making friends or people should say hello, I think we really have to stop being so selfish. And I mean, we're already kind of doomed, but we could be a little less doomed if we would just, you know, have each other's back. But we've seen that a lot of people don't want to do that, but you know, we still can be doing better, even if we're already doing a little of it. A lot of hand movements. So sorry. Okay, that's it for me for the yap. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Again, I hope this quality is okay. So thanks for watching. Again, check out the link down below if you want to go to Ireland with me next October. Woo! And I think, hold on, what time is it? Oh, y'all, I gotta get ready to go to Pilates. And I'm gonna say hello when I walk in. And I'm gonna make sure I wipe down my equipment really nice afterwards, so the person after me has a nice clean workspace. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So thanks for watching. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreened, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.